Okay, let's look in detail how to analyze the competition. And we'll look at one company that's a product and one that's a service and in similar industries. And the whole idea of this that you want to do for yourself is look at your competitors for ideas, right? What works, what does not seem to be working. You're trying to get just kind of general idea of type of videos they're making, how successful they are, what are they doing right, what might they improve on so you could kind of use it to help yourself. Remember, you be you, right? It's your channel. So you might do a similar video as, let's say, a competitor, but you're going to have your own unique take, your own unique spin on it, your own way of presenting it. So that's perfectly okay to kind of get these ideas. We're not plagiarizing or copywriting, we're getting ideas. Very much a big difference. And the other thing is, don't be intimidated. I mean, some of these competitors are major companies, and some are, like, have been on YouTube for 3, 4, 6 years, and so they've some of their latest videos are going to be a lot, maybe better, but they all start somewhere, and their earlier videos are not going to be that good. In fact, we're going to look at a Fortune 500 level company, we're going to look at a small company, and you might see the areas where the small company actually does better than the Fortune 500 company. So we're just going to look in the pet area, specifically in the dog area, and we're just going to go on YouTube, look for a competitor, and let's say we're going to look at Purina. You might know Purina. They are a big dog food manufacturer. Fortune 500 level company. I believe they're owned by Nestle now. So we're just going to look at their channel, and you'll see what it might look like from a Fortune 500 company. Then we're going to look at a small company that's in a similar area but doesn't do dog food. They do something different, dog training. The whole idea is I'm not trying to teach you about dog food or anything like that. Trying to get you an idea of how to look at the competitors is the idea. So you want to go to their channel homepage. You'll see how many subscribers they have. You can see for such a big company with professionally done videos that they're paying Hollywood, professional marketing companies, big bucks that they advertise like this on television, that they've only got 13,900 subscribers. Not a lot of subscribers for a big company. So that's kind of curious too. So if you're in the pet food business, you can compete against this. You can compete, at least on YouTube you can. You can take a look at their banner image. Does that excite you? Does that do anything? I think the print here is a little too small. But they've got it set up so they got your food here, helps your pet be athletic or happy here, I guess. But this is a little small, so you can look at your channel banner or channel art. We're going to show you how to create all that stuff, of course. All the stuff you're seeing here, we're going to show you how to create, so don't worry about that. We're just evaluating the competitors, but you can see how they've got their layout here. They've got a nice link to their website and their social media, so that's good. The subscribe button's always there. And then you can scroll through, and this is like their first main video. You can tell what video you want to have here. They've got a General Pet Cares About Nutrition. It's 2 years old, so it's not a good amount of views, but not really for them. But 2 years ago. So this would be something, maybe it's more of your promo video of your whole channel, or it's a popular video, and you can switch this out. This is the first thing people are going to see when they land on your website, or excuse me, on your YouTube landing page. So this is very critical. In fact, it's a short video, like 1 minute is a good length, so that's good. And when you create your video for this course, maybe you want to make a promo video that talks about your products or services that you do, and just put it right here, and we'll show you all how to do that. And they have a little description here, and a little link here, that's good, and you could read more, that's great. And then you want to start looking at the videos. That's really where you're going to get some detail. Just scrolling down, and they've got pets at work, and they've got some kind of pets at work stuff. And then they've got a Better with Pets, as Your Pals. This is 1,600 views 6 years ago. I mean, does this really need to be called out special? The Pets at Work is okay, nice. Real short videos here. It's a 13-second video. Pets at Work chat list. Okay, that's interesting. And then they've got a whole bunch of other channels. So that is a debate too. Do you create multiple individual channels, or do you create one channel? The general recommendation is that you create one channel and that you kind of go with that. I mean, you can see these guys have lots of channels. I mean, you got to scroll through. Here's cat channels, here's career channels, all sorts of stuff. So that can be real detailed, maybe for a Fortune 500 company. But here they've got 125,000 subscribers to the Purina Pro plan. Why don't you just make that the whole channel, right? Instead of this general Purina one. I'm not going to tell them how to market. They're got much smarter people than me, but it's something to think about for your own stuff. Let me tell you, trying to manage multiple channels is very difficult. Just focus on one, especially right now as we're getting started, just focus on one. So as you're really evaluating, this is where the money comes in now, is you want to look at their videos and what's popular and what's not popular and what's working, what's not. So what you'll see typically is their most recent uploads, right? So their most recent upload was 2 weeks ago. Fortune 500 company, 84 views. You can get 84 views in your first day if you have a good video, right? pure, this is like probably good help, good nutrition stuff. They're not, kitten food, providing nutrition is more of a commercial problem. Maybe that's why people aren't watching. 16 seconds is more of a commercial. Who cares, right? Do they got anything better? Well, here, Purina cares about pet adoption, right? So this is 16 seconds, but it's 1.7 million views. They probably promote the heck out and spent hundreds of thousands of dollars to promote it. So if you're competing against them, you can see they're running a lot of short 13, 20-second videos. Maybe they're putting stuff on TikTok or whatever. Even veterinarian stuff here, benefits of wet cat food, but they got a veterinarian. What is that, like a minute 37? They're all like a minute 37. Well, that's the same thing, just in a different language. Because again, Fortune 500 company. So their kind of strategy is short videos as far as their most recent uploads. That's what you'll see here. But then you can sort by other things, right? It's going to usually default, or it should default to the date added, the newest. So we're seeing the most newest ones a couple weeks ago, as opposed to daily. And then you can look at the oldest. So if you want to see what do their oldest videos look like and how they start. Sometimes that's good to look at your competitors. It'll give you encouragement because you're going to see that they're not so great either. I mean, look at this image here. Purina's tribute to pets everywhere. 9 years ago they put this up. 9,500 views after 9 years. But not great, but that looks a little better. Pets at Work. Again, Fortune 500 company. But another good way to sort is by their most popular, because this can give you ideas on what you might want to make. So go to that sort by and go to most popular, and you might have older stuff like this 1 year ago, but this is only 3 weeks ago. So, and this is 3 years ago. So it's interesting. So 1.7 million, that one we found about the adoption one. And then this one about preparing for a cat's total well-being. Then they've got a longer one here for 15 minutes with Dr. Sandra Lin, 76,000 views 8 years ago, right? So you can start getting ideas like, do I want to do videos like this style? Short about adoption, short about treatment, or short about behavior, or longer about behavior, 15 minutes, longer about behavior. This could give you ideas as far as, do you want short videos, long videos, topics that you want, sort by, use that sort by, that's key. Then you can also look at playlists. That'll show you what they're emphasizing. They use lots of playlists. So this is like 24 videos and pet owner tips, for example, or our favorite YouTube moments, kind of a 47 video play all things, so you can get the idea for there. Most people don't have much going on with the community, so don't be worried about that. They're using Facebook, other things for community. This would be if they have other channels that we saw here. They have lots of other channels. Again, I'd recommend you start with one. And then their about is something that you're going to create too, where you have a description, details. You can have links. See, they have links to their Instagram, their website, all that kind of stuff. And you can also see their stats. They've been around since 2009, and they've got 3,465,000, let's call it 3.5 million views in total, since 2009. Again, if you're going against them, you can compete against them, right? And then they have this, nice professional thing running here. So that's like a product one. Let's look at a smaller company, more of a medium-sized company, maybe more like you, right? So I'm going to go to this one I have preloaded here. It's Simpatico Dog Training. You can see they've got links to their website, social media here. You can put in your banner image. They've got a nice looking banner image. See how it pops out better by having a darker background with this, lighter color here, and they got their logo. So this is nice. And they're not a Fortune 500 company. They're a small little medium-sized dog training company, right? They train dogs. They're not Ralston Purina. But you can see they've got a nice little banner here, right? And they got a little picture here of a dog. They got 396,000 subscribers, right? Remember, Purina, Fortune 500, 14,000 subscribers. Small guy, 396,000. They've got to see what Simpatico's dogs is all about. So you can look at this and look at a nice promo video, minute 15. One thing I didn't like about it is they have this long running, it's a cool image, but it takes too long, right? I haven't got to anything. I'm 8 seconds in, I still haven't got anything. There I got something, intelligent or whatever. Understand, having something happen right away is critical. They've lost 30% of their viewers already. I can guarantee by looking at even other people's analytics, my analytics, you lose people quickly. You know that with your own YouTube viewing. So that would be a little criticism of them. By the way, for your upload videos, I'll never be that harsh, by the way. But you can see here that they have a nice little video here. You could have your first video be that. This was uploaded a year ago. Again, you can upload that every month if you want. Same thing. Here's a nice deal that they did here. First time here, see what we're all about on the YouTube channel. That's what this is about. But then they have a nice lead magnet. Later in the course, we're going to talk about lead magnets and how to give away free stuff to get people to kind of join your email list or involve with your products. Here it says, download the free Simpatico Basic Gear Buyer's Guide here, right? And so I should be able to click on that and then take me right to the guide, and I can download it and they'll capture my email. Let's test it. I have a ton of you. Let's test it and see. This should take me right to the guide. If it doesn't, I'm going to boo them. All right, so here's download the buyer's guide. Good for you guys. You did a good job. You got the buyer's guide, our free 50-page curated collection of great tips. That's great. It's all free. Oh, it's updated and expanded for 2020. No, it's not 2020 anymore. Just update the cover art and make it the current year or something, or add a tip or two. This just turns me off, right? So good. So good, but that was a miss, right? So you want to think about that with your lead magnet. You don't want to kind of blow it with the lead magnet. Well, let's call it that. But this is great that it's there because it's inviting people to come to their site. So that's a good thing you can do too. And when you set up your descriptions and stuff, popular uploads. You can see this is from 5 years ago, 6.1 million views. So how to use a Kong Dong toy, 90% of behavior problems. They just got lucky or hit it there. Because you can see they got another one's 1.5 million, 1.2 million. Remember how small that the Ralston video views were, compared to these in the millions? Because they're answering specific questions, right? They're answering like 5 new tips for a new dog, 4 types of dog toys, right? How to choose them, crate training, definitive guide. I'm going to teach you how to do crate training, all that stuff. So, or they are, I'm not. And so they've got good titles, good images. See how it's easy to see good images there. And they've got their different product list, playlists too. You don't have to have a playlist, especially at the beginning. But if you wanted to watch 7 videos on socialization for your dog, they'll run right in a row. And that's a good way to keep people on your channel on YouTube. Here's 22 on puppies. You can just watch that because you like people like puppies. All right, so let's look at their videos. So let's look and see what they got here, right? So they've got their uploads, and you can see all their uploads that they have here. This would be their most recent uploads. They haven't been uploading. So this is a good-sized channel, doing a lot of good stuff, but maybe they're getting a little burned out. Their last upload was 3 months ago, and the one previous to that 6 months ago. So, they're running out of steam. If you see that with a competitor and you're like, they're not uploading it like they used to, you might have an opportunity. You might look at some of the stuff they do, put your spin on it, do your leash review. Maybe you're going to have a more up-to-date leash review than something from 6 months ago, or something from, let's say, 4 years ago. How do you use the Puppy Play Den for solid puppy training? You upload a new video related to this product, you're going to get looked at a lot because this is old. YouTube will tend to like to recognize things that are either successful, like that one was successful, or newer. They like newer too. All right, so let's sort this by. So date added, newest. Now let's look at their oldest. You can see how long they've been around, 6 years. Looks like they've been doing kind of good quality videos right from the beginning. They've had their logo since the beginning. So they're 6 years old, so they started off pretty good. And we can look at their most popular, and you can see the same stuff that we've done here. But you can scroll down and see what also might be popular for them as well. How to reward scaling, 90,000 views 5 years ago. So you could do your own thing on whatever, scaling. I don't have enough dogs, so you can tell. They're, I don't have dogs. I love dogs. Wife doesn't love dogs, allergic. So, but otherwise I love dogs. That's why I'm doing dogs, right? So looking at this sorted by can be very helpful. Get an idea what they focus on from playlists can be helpful for people. With your competitors, again, not much community. They have an added thing here with a store. So if you sell products, you can create a store thing and you can feature products that you sell. See how they're selling shirts and hats and things like that. Different things you can buy. A Simpatico shirt for, $20 US. So this is something you can add in your channel too. This is if they have other channels. So this is things that they're subscribing to, right? So this is not them. This is other things they're subscribing to, which can be some of their own competitors, which is fine. Maybe they do cross things where they do partnerships, right? So dog trained by Kiko Pup. Maybe they, we'll subscribe to you if you subscribe to us, and we'll call you out on the channel. Other things like Iron Maiden, Legacy of the Beast. That's music. They might like Iron Maiden music. I would, again, for a business, I wouldn't have my music channel on there. I would have either my own channel or no channels here. And the description just tells who they are, short and sweet. They've been around since 2015. 17 million views, right? So small, little company, 17 million views. Fortune 500 company, 3.5 million views. Both good, just saying you can do this too. Location, links, all that stuff. We'll show you how to create that later in the course too. So, so this is Simpatico, and and you can see how they can look as a competitor. And you can look at multiple competitors and get ideas of other competitors as well too. Some will be better than others. Really, the whole idea of this is that you don't want to be them, you want to be you, and get ideas from this for your own channel. So look at their channel, how they set up, and particularly look at this video part, and particularly look at what's most popular, can really give you ideas for later when you start creating even more videos. But right now, we just want to create one video for our challenge. So with that, go check out your competition.